So you were really at the forefront of a lot of efforts to clean up the balance sheet of the banks. You were at the forefront of, non-performing loans and stuff like that. Are you going to get even more involved? Is there anything else that you need to sell off?
So during 2020 and 2021, we will complete the business plan with a reduction of non-performing loans that will bring us at the level of the European players. So we are already in a very good shape, especially if you compare us with other peers due to our business model. We have a business model, we have 1 trillion euros of wealth and 500 billion of loans, and it is a unique business model, and it is typical of this business model that you can have a significant amount of non-performing loans, but a significant reduction, and so now we are close to European level.
So how would you describe the current state of the Italian banking sector? There's still some things to be done and concerns about whether consolidation amongst these Banca Popolari will actually take place.
So the situation in Italy, in my view, is much better than what is perceived from outside. The situation of the Italian banking sector, apart from Popolare di Bari, is in a very good shape, but also Popolare di Bari is absolutely under control. The situation is now probably in which the Italian banking sector is much better than France and Germany and other systems, in which probably there is less emphasis on minor banks when they have a problem. In Italy, if you have a problem in a minor bank, it appears like the problem of Italian banking sector. At the same time, you have 2 billion euros of problem in Popolare di Bari, and you have Intesa Sanpaolo with 400 billion euros of loans that is one of the champions in Europe. So that's the situation.
But if you look at Banca Popolare di Bari, will it be fixed? Because it's a small bank, but I guess the perception from investors is that if you can't fix that, they worry about the system as a whole.
But it is not true, because in any case there has been an intervention of the Fondo Interbanking Fund, and then there will be a public intervention. So the situation is absolutely under control, and this is solved. So there is no more problem in Italy related to banking sector.
What's market activity and client activity going to look like in 2020?
So the situation in looking at the market and the different environment is that in Italy we will have an acceleration in wealth management. That's my view in the Italian banking system, because Italians with this level of spread are coming back to asset under management, insurance products. So the family sector in Italy is so strong that all the players that are involved in wealth management can have a very positive trend during 2020-21.
Are people too optimistic or too pessimistic about the year ahead?
So the situation in looking at what is the perception, my view is that there is probably too much pessimism. So my view is that the situation in Europe and also in Italy is much more positive than what is perceived from outside. If you look at figures on confidence, real economy data, production, consumption, all these data are positive. I'm not talking about a growth like China style in Europe and in Italy, but at the end it is a growth that is enough to say that there is the usual speed for country like Europeans.
What about political stability? So we went through a phase of political stability in Italy, which was frankly something that we hadn't seen for a while.
Stability in Italy is something that is very difficult to say that you can have stability in Italy. The reality in my country is, and in our country, is that the companies and the families are so strong that at the end it is not so important the instability in the political sector. So we are so used to have this situation that we can absolutely deliver a trend of growth between 0 and 1% GDP without any kind of intervention from the politician. Then if politicians can do a very good job, Italy can grow also at 2% GDP. But the normal rhythm of the real economy in the country is that due to the strength of companies and family, Italy can grow at this level.
How problematic are negative rates for Banca Intesa?
So negative rates are a problem for the banking sector. That's completely true. But for Intesa Sanpaolo, in this phase could be an opportunity, because in an environment with negative rates, and especially in an environment with stability in the spread BTP Bund, families are moving into asset under management product and insurance products. And due to the fact fact that we are in such a very good position in looking at this sector, we are benefiting from this situation. This cannot be for the next 3 years, because this is a contingent situation, this possibility to have positive impact, but for us it is not negative.
But is there a danger that we're mispricing risk, so that people go into risky...
That's completely the problem of negative
So are we
interest
creating
rate.
bubbles?
Yes, this is really the real. It's something like a drug. So if you continue in this way, so my expectation is that you can continue another year in this way without any impact that could be really not so significant. In the medium term, this cannot be the way in which you can manage the real economy in the different sectors. So my expectation is that at the end, this trend will move into zero rate and then probably some positive rates.
But are negative rates actually a hindrance to cross-border consolidation in Europe?
So negative rates can try to accelerate analysis on cross-border consolidation. The real point of cross-border consolidation is that if you look Europe, USA and China, you need absolutely to create some champion with scale that can compete with USA. So if you look at the market cap of JP Morgan is equivalent to the market cap of Santander, BNP Paribas, Intesa Sanpaolo, all the big players in Europe. So in the medium term in Europe, we need to have consolidation, but at the same time, we need to have some rule of the game that could be the same in all the European countries. That is the problem of Europe, not trying to create a unique Europe, but to avoid that each country has a legislation. ECB is trying to push for this process, and I think that at the end, this can happen, not in this year, but in the future, this can happen.
So you think we'll have some kind of European champion that can take on JP Morgan as long as deregulation is the same as in the US?
So the real point is that at the end, if you want to play the game from a geopolitical point of view, if Europe want to play a game with USA and China, we need to have champions like JP Morgan. So that's absolutely something that you need to have in Europe. This, in my view, will happen. Today, it is not possible, not easy to have synergies, but if there are conditions to create synergies in Europe, cross-border consolidation can be the future for Europe.